Good afternoon to one and all. I am Mr. Rishikesh Kumar, Assistant Professor at PCET SBPM. Would like to welcome you all to the session by CA Pramod Jain sir on the topic discounted cash flow and business valuations. On behalf of PCET Pune Business School, I would like to request CA Pramod Jain sir to please take charge and begin the session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Rishikesh. Delighted to cover another very interesting topic called discounted cash flow and business valuation. Now, this session is going to be useful This session that we have on discounted cash flow and business valuation, it is going to be useful for valuation professionals, insolvency professionals, existing as well as new aspirants to these professions. This session will also be useful for chartered accountants, cost accountants, company secretaries, and other finance and accounting professionals, those who are working as well as practicing. So working in the corporate, or those who are practicing as independent practicing professional, is going to be useful for all of them. It will also be useful for students of MBA, CA, CS, CMA, CIMA, ACCA, CPA, and other students pursuing the courses in accounts and finance. This program would also help merchant bankers, investment analysts, financial analysts, and also those professionals who are engaged in the profession of valuation. Now, what is the purpose of this session that we have today? Discounted cash flow and business valuation. So the purpose of this session is to familiarize all the participants, those who are attending this session live on Zoom, Facebook, or YouTube, or those who will be attending this program later on through all these social media channels. The purpose is to familiarize with them with the entire process of valuation using the discounted cash flow method. Friends, there are many approaches for valuation. There are many methods for valuation, but among all of them, the most reliable, dependable, fundamental method for valuation is the discounted cash flow method. Across the globe, by all corporates indulging in any corporate decision, they would base their decision on the discounted cash flow method. They might support it with the valuation through the market approach and also through the asset approach. But remember, the fundamental is the discounted cash flow. And why the discounted cash flow is fundamental? Because it's the money. Ultimately, what is value? Value is directly linked with the money, with the cash. And discounted cash flow helps us to find out the value of a business based on availability of cash for the benefit of different stakeholders. And that is the purpose of this session. So in this session, friends, we will go step by step, right from the very beginning until the very end. So starting from how to determine the explicit forecast period and the terminal period, and then going till the end and finding out value per share, whether the equity value per share or the enterprise value per share. But this is what we are going to understand in this process, friends, in this session today. And that is the purpose of this session we have. I am sure all of you will find this session extremely useful, extremely beneficial. It is also going to be extremely useful for those professional chartered accountant, cost accountants, company secretaries, and MBAs who are wanting to enter the profession of valuation, who are wanting to write and pass the IBBI's valuation exam. This session that we have today of 1 hour, friends, is going to be extremely useful to all of you. So what are we going to cover in this session? We start with the introduction to valuation and why valuations are required. And I can tell you at this point in time itself. So what is valuation and why valuations are required? Friends, answer is very simple. Because एक business में, corporate world में आप क्या करते हो? Corporate world में आप बहुत सारे decisions लेते हो. And why do you take decisions in the corporate world? You take decisions in the corporate world because you are driven by one thing which is called as value creation by making profit, or making profit by creating value. So दुनिया में जितने भी businesses हैं, वो इंडिया में हो, अमेरिका में है, हम यूरोप में हो, ऑस्ट्रेलिया में हो, न्यूजीलैंड में हो, चाइना में हो, दुनिया में जितने भी businesses हैं, जितने भी businessmen हैं, उनका एक ही ड्राइवर है, और वो ड्राइवर है how to create more value by making profit, or how to make more profit by creating more value. So now any businessman, any decision that you take in the corporate world is driven by this one single objective, that is to create value by making profit. तो क्या मतलब है इसका? इसका मतलब यह है कि एक बिजनेसमैन पूरी दुनिया में he is always in search of opportunities whereby he would be able to create more value by making more profit, or making more profit by creating more value. तो उसके लिए जो भी मौका की तलाश में हमेशा वो रहता है. And remember, that is the reason why you find a lot of companies, buying and acquiring. So recently, we all know that Flipkart is trying to take a minor stake in Aditya Birla Fashion company. So why is that? Flipkart is doing very well, and is already part of Walmart. So where is the need for them to do anything other than what they are already doing? But they are looking for such opportunities because उनको लगता है, Flipkart को लगता है कि अगर वो आदित्य बिरला फैशन कंपनी में अगर एक स्टेक लेते हैं, it would help them in their operations. यानी कि आदित्य बिरला के में अगर वो फैशन कंपनी में अगर वो स्टेक लेते हैं, तो बिकॉज ऑफ दिस स्टेक दैट दे हैव इन द आदित्य बिरला फैशन कंपनी, उसकी वजह से उनको ये इन्वेस्टमेंट को लेवरेज करने को आएगा फॉर फर्दरिंग द बिजनेस ऑफ द फ्लिपकार्ट. And remember, when the business of the Flipkart is furthered, that means automatically Walmart stands to gain. So these are the reasons as to why the people are always looking for such opportunities. So what is valuation and why valuation? Valuations, number one, are required because the corporate people have to take decisions, and for taking decisions they need to know the value. And what is the valuation? Valuation is to ascertain as to how much benefit I am going to derive from any decision that I am going to take. So अगर मैं कंपनी को एक्वायर करता हूं, तो उस कंपनी को एक्वायर करने से मुझे क्या फायदा होगा, मुझे क्या बेनिफिट होगा? Converting that benefit in terms of money value, monetary value, is valuation. So that is, friends, is the introduction to valuation and why valuation. So please remember, so just to sum it up once again, what is valuation? Valuation is to ascertain the benefits that I would derive from a corporate decision, and converting those benefits in terms of monetary value is referred as valuation. Why the valuations are required? Valuations are required because in the corporate world, the businessmen have to take decision, and for taking decision, they need to know what is the value. Only when they know what is the value that they will gain from the decision, then only they would be able to take a decision. Friends, now this is something that every one of us need to fix it in our memory forever कि ये valuation है और इसलिए valuations की रिक्वायरमेंट है. क्योंकि एक बार ये चीज हमारे दिमाग में बैठ जाए तो हमारे लिए आगे का जो रास्ता है वो बड़ा आसान हो जाता है. आगे के जो पॉइंट्स हैं उनको समझने में हमको बड़ी आसानी होती है. What are the different approaches for valuation? So there are basically three approaches to valuation. With the number one approach is the income approach, number two is the market approach, and number three is the asset approach. So under these three approaches, there are different methods. So under the income approach, you have a method of income capitalization, and then you have a discounted cash flow method, which is the focal point for our discussion today. Under the market approach, you have the comparable company method, or you have a comparable transaction method, and there are many such as other methods available, but broadly these are the two methods available under the market approach. And then under the asset approach, there are book value method, adjusted book value method, replacement method, and the liquidation method. So these are the three approaches: income approach, income approach, market approach, and the asset approach. Under those, there are different methods. Our focus in this session is on discounted cash flow method. Now, what is discounted cash flow method? And why do we need to use two-stage discounting model for DCF? Abhiki friends, I'm sure many of you, or rather most of you, would have at one time or the other delved into the valuation. और आपने कभी ना कभी, मुझे पूरा भरोसा है कि आपने डिस्काउंटेड कैश फ्लो मेथड का कहीं ना कहीं यूज किया होगा. तो आपने नोटिस किया होगा कि डिस्काउंटेड कैश फ्लो मेथड में हम वी यूज दी टू स्टेज डिस्काउंटिंग मॉडल. तो अब पहले जरा हम ये समझ के लेते हैं कि डिस्काउंटेड कैश फ्लो मेथड क्या है, उसके बाद में हम समझ के लेंगे कि टू स्टेज डिस्काउंटिंग क्यों यूज करते हैं, एंड देन वी विल कम टू द एंटायर प्रोसेस ऑफ DCF method. So what is discounted cash flow method? Let's understand this first. So remember, discounted cash flow method means what? Ultimately, what we are trying to do, we are trying to find value of a business. And what is the value of a business? Value of a business is nothing but the benefits that are going to accrue in the future from this investment. Converting those benefits in terms of money, in terms of present value, is the and aggregating it to adding it all together is the valuation. Now, so what we do in case of discounted cash flow method, remember friends, पहली बात, why discounted cash flow? Why not to take the cash flow as it is? That means हमने अगले 10-20 साल का कैश फ्लो प्रोजेक्शंस किया, और वो 10-20 साल के कैश फ्लो के प्रोजेक्शंस का टोटल किया, और वो टोटल को हमारा जो आउटफ्लो है आज की तारीख में उससे कंपेयर करें, और उसके बेसिस से हम डिसीजन ले लें. हम ऐसा कर सकते हैं, पर हम ऐसा नहीं करते. क्यों नहीं करते? देयर इज अ रीजन फॉर इट. व्हाट इज द रीजन फॉर इट? द रीजन फॉर इट इज that we all understand by experience that the value of the money that we are going to receive in future is not same as the value of money today. Obviously, the value of money, value of cash that we are going to receive in future is much less than the value of the cash that I am investing today. So therefore, what do I need to do? I need to convert the future cash flows in terms of the present value. So this process of converting the future cash flows in terms of present value is done by a method called discounting. And that is why this method is known as discounted cash flow method. That means what I'm doing, I am first finding out the future cash flows. And once I find out the future cash flows, then I'm discounting them. I'm discounting those cash flows to arrive at the value of this investment that I'm making. And then I would compare the value of the benefit that I would arrive from this investment with the money that I'm putting into this investment. And if I see that the value of the money that I'm deriving is more than the value of the money that I'm investing, then I will take the decision and go ahead with the technique. So that is why it is known as discounted cash flow method. एक चीज और बताना चाहूंगा फ्रेंड्स यहाँ पर, ताकि लोगों के दिमाग में ये बिल्कुल भी गलतफहमी ना रहे कि कई बार लोग सोचते हैं कि डिस्काउंटिंग का मतलब क्या है. Discounting का मतलब, please remember, is not to find out the purchasing power of the future cash flow. Certainly not. That is not at all the right answer. The discounting का मतलब ये है कि as an investor, as a businessman, I am trying to convert the future cash flows in terms of present value. And for converting the future cash flows in terms of present value, what do? I use a discounting rate. And what is that discounting rate? That discounting rate is my cost of capital. Remember, my cost of capital. It is not the cost of capital of my competitor. It is not the cost of capital of my customer. It is not the cost of capital of my supplier. It is not the cost of capital of my lender. It is the cost of capital of mine. And why mine cost of capital? Because who is investing money? I'm investing money. Since I'm investing money, who has to take the decision? I have to take the decision. So if I have to take the decision, then the future cash flows need to be converted in terms of cash using a discounting rate, which is my cost of capital. And this is your discounted cash flow method. And this is why it is referred and called as discounted cash flow method, because what you're doing, you're discounting the future cash flows for arriving at the present value of those future cash flows. Now friends, अब आपने देखा होगा कि this is also referred as two-stage discounting model. Now let us understand why it is referred as two-stage discounting model in the first place. And before that, let's also understand as to why do we need to have two-stage discounting model? Why can't we do it with single-stage discounting model? Of course, you can do it with a single-stage discounting model also. But when? When the business whose value you are trying to find out, if that business has a limited life, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, then it is possible for you to use a single discounting method. Why? अगर आपको मालूम है कि एक बिजनेस 5 साल के बाद, 10 साल के बाद बंद होने वाला है, क्लोज करने वाले हैं, so then what you will find out the cash flow for next 10 years, 15 years, 20 years as the life of that business be, maybe, and then convert those future cash flows in terms of present value, add them together, and of course वो जो 15वें साल में, 10वें साल में, 5वें साल में जब आप बिजनेस को बंद करोगे, उस समय जो आप एसेट्स को सेल करोगे, जो करंट एसेट्स होंगी या जो फिक्स एसेट्स होंगी, उनको जो सेल करोगे, उनकी सेल से जो कैश आएगा उसको भी ऐड कर लो 15वें साल में, 10वें साल में, 5वें साल में, एज द केस में भी, और ये सबका प्रेजेंट वैल्यू निकालो, उसको टोटल करो, और दैट बिकम्स योर वैल्यू ऑफ द बिजनेस. इट इज अ सिंगल स्टेज मॉडल बिकॉज आपको मालूम है 5 साल की लाइफ है, 10 साल की लाइफ है, 15 साल की लाइफ है. So therefore you do not need the two-stage discounting model. When and why do you need to use the two-stage discounting model? Remember, तो इनवेरिएबली फ्रेंड्स, जितनी भी कंपनियां हैं, जितने भी बिजनेसेस हैं हिंदुस्तान में या पूरी दुनिया में, अगर आप देखेंगे तो कोई भी आदमी जब बिजनेस चालू करता है तो वो आदमी बिजनेस चालू करता है विद व्हाट इंटेंशन? He does not start the business, normally speaking, with an intention to close it after 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Anybody and everybody, anywhere in the world, he would start the business with an intent that this business should go on forever. It should not only go on for his lifetime, but it should also go on after his life as well. So that means what? That means we all understand that a business has a life which is infinite. A business has a life which is infinite. अब सवाल ये है कि if a business has a life which is infinite, then how do you find out the present value of the cash flows for a business where the life is infinite? अब सबसे बड़ी पहली प्रॉब्लम तो ये हो जाएगी आपको कि अगर कंपनी की लाइफ इन्फिनाइट है, यानी कि कंपनी की लाइफ कभी खत्म होने वाली नहीं है, तो आप कब तक कैश फ्लोज कैलकुलेट करोगे? हाउ मेनी इयर्स विल यू कीप ऑन प्रोजेक्टिंग द कैश फ्लोज, बिकॉज इज नेवर एंडिंग प्रोसेस. एंड दूसरी प्रॉब्लम ये है कि दूसरी प्रॉब्लम ये है कि वो जो फ्यूचर की इन्फिनाइट पीरियड की जो कैश फ्लोज आप प्रोजेक्ट करोगे, आप उनको डिस्काउंट कैसे करोगे? हाउ डू यू डिस्काउंट देम एंड हाउ लॉन्ग विल यू कीप ऑन डिस्काउंटिंग देम, बिकॉज इट हैज इन्फिनिटी. So what you do? You use the two-stage discounting model. So what is the meaning of two-stage discounting model? Two-stage discounting model का मतलब ये है कि आप क्या करिए, आप जो आपका प्रोजेक्ट है, आप जो बिजनेस है जिसका वैल्यूएशन करना चाह रहे हैं, उसकी लाइफ को आप 2 हिस्सों में डिवाइड करिए. डिवाइड द लाइफ ऑफ द बिजनेस इन 2 पार्ट्स. द पार्ट नंबर 1 referred as explicit forecast period. यानी कि ये वो पीरियड है जब आपको मालूम है कि ये बिजनेस विल बी ग्रोइंग एट अ वेरी हाई ग्रोथ रेट. और एक पीरियड के बाद, रिमेंबर, नो बिजनेस एवर इन द वर्ल्ड विल कीप ऑन ग्रोइंग एट अ वेरी हाई ग्रोथ रेट. समवेयर द ग्रोथ हैज टू स्टेबलाइज. सो you estimate what is the explicit forecast period, and after which the growth will stabilize. So the period at which the explicit forecast period ends, the terminal period starts. और terminal period का मतलब क्या है? Terminal period का मतलब है the whole period, the infinite period at the expiry of the explicit forecast period. So this is how you segregate the life of the business for the purpose of discounted cash flow into 2 parts: explicit forecast period and the terminal period. And why do you do it? You do it because the model makes it possible for you to ascertain the present value of the future cash flows for these. explicit period and also present value of the cash flows for the terminal period. So the model helps you to arrive at the cash flows for both these periods and then also find out the present value of the cash flows of both these periods, add them together, and when you add them together, what you get is the business value. So friends, that is the reason why we use two-stage discounting model in case of discounted cash flow method. सो हम क्या करेंगे, वी विल फर्स्ट डिस्कस ऑल दी 9 स्टेप्स, यानी कि डिस्काउंटेड कैश फ्लो मेथड को यूज करने के लिए जो 9 स्टेप्स हैं, हम पहले उनकी चर्चा करेंगे और पहले उनको समझ के लेंगे और उसके बाद में देन वी विल लुक एट ईच एंड एवरी स्टेप वन बाय वन इन ग्रेटर डिटेल सो दैट ऑल ऑफ यू आर एबल टू get a very good handle on it. And by the way, friends, all these sessions, now remember, today we are on the 19th day. Today we are on the 19th day, and that means already we have delivered 18 different programs. So ये जो पूरी series है, 30 topics, 30 days, 30 program. So all these sessions which have been delivered in the past and today's session, all these sessions are, number one, being delivered live on Facebook, YouTube, and Zoom. Plus, they are being recorded, and the recorded versions will also be available for you to view on the portal of Pimpri Chinchwad Education Trust. उनका स्कूल है पुणे बिजनेस स्कूल, तो पुणे बिजनेस स्कूल की जो साइट है उसके ऊपर ये सारे के सारे रिकॉर्डेड वर्जन आपको मिलेंगे, उनके यूट्यूब चैनल पर मिलेंगे और फेसबुक पर भी मिलेंगे. तो अगर आपको कोई भी सेशन रिव्यू करना है या फिर से एक बार सुनना है या समझना है तो आप वो वहां जाके देख सकते हैं. और मेरा जो यूट्यूब चैनल है उस पर भी ये सारे के सारे सेशंस आपको मिलेंगे. द ओनली डिफरेंस इज इफ यू गो टू द पोर्टल ऑफ पिंपरी चिंचवाड एजुकेशन ट्रस्ट, you will have all these sessions there recorded with inbuilt PPT. So PPT you will not be able to see when you watch this program on my YouTube channel, but if you go to the YouTube channel or the Facebook channel of the Pimpri Chinchwad Education Trust, you will not only be able to hear me, but you would also be able to see the PPT simultaneously. Okay, so that's your step number 1. So सबसे पहले आपको क्या करना है, सबसे पहले आपको divide करना है the life between the explicit forecast period and the terminal period. Then what you do, estimate the growth rate, right? So that's step number 2. Step number 3, estimate projected free cash flows. Now I'm going to discuss all these points in detail. Boundary, तो आपको समझ जाए कि हमको कितने बड़े मैदान में खेलना है. तो you know in your mind, as to what are the boundaries within which you have to understand. So the cost of capital. Cost of capital in case of discounted cash flow method is a number which is absolutely imperative. You got to have for finding out the value using the discounted cash flow method. So determine the cost of capital, and after present value of the cash flow during the explicit forecast period and during the terminal period. Then what you do, then you add them together, and then you will come to know the value of the firm or the value of the equity. So depending on दो तरह के cash flow हो सकते हैं friends. One cash flow will be free cash flow for the firm and free cash flow for the equity. So depending on which is the type of cash flow that you are using, are you using the free cash flow for the firm or you're using free cash flow for the equity? So depending on if you're using the free cash flow for the firm, then what you will get is the enterprise value. But if you're using the free cash flow for equity, what you will get is the equity value of the business. So that's your step number 3. And then of course we will discuss that, and then you will be able to arrive at the per share enterprise value or per share equity value. And so these are the 9 steps, friends, that we have in case of discounted cash flow method. And what we will do, Right. So first is ascertaining the explicit forecast period and the terminal period. So जैसा कि मैंने आपको बताया, आपको क्या करना है, सबसे पहले आपको जो प्रोजेक्ट बिजनेस की जो लाइफ है उसको दो पार्ट में डिवाइड करना है, explicit forecast period and the terminal period. How will you do it? Obviously, you are a practicing chartered accountant, cost accountant, company secretary, or an MBA, but a registered valuation professional. You are an independent valuation professional. You may not really be so much in knowledge of the company because as an independent professional, valuation professional, you will be getting assignments from all kinds of companies, from different industries, different product, and so on and so forth. So for you to be aware of every industry, every product may not be possible. So how do you break the life of the project into two parts? You will do so in consultation or in discussion with the management of that company जिसका क्या valuation कर रहे हैं. तो आपको क्या करना होगा, you will need to interact with the management of that company. उनसे डिस्कस करके आपको मालूम करना होगा कि भाई ये जो आपकी लाइफ है, for how many years you think you will have a high growth period. So whatever is the high growth period they tell you, so that means that becomes the explicit forecast period. And then you will also have to find out from them as to when will this high growth period cease, and the date on which this high growth period ceases, from that date the terminal period starts. So that is the first thing that you will need to do in with the management of. You yourself will gain a lot of understanding, a lot of knowledge, a lot of expertise, a lot of experience, and you yourself would be able to decide and determine. But remember, ultimately the call has to be taken by the company and not by you, because you don't we as the valuers do not understand business. पहला स्टेप आपने कर लिया, लाइफ को दो पार्ट्स में, बिजनेस की लाइफ को दो भागों में बांट दिया, एक्सप्लिसिट फोरकास्ट पीरियड एंड द टर्मिनल पीरियड. नाउ व्हाट यू नीड टू डू, now you need to find out the growth rate, because ultimately please remember discounted cash flow method है. Discounted cash flow method है मतलब क्या है, you have to estimate the future cash flows. So if you have to estimate the future cash flows, that means what, that means you will also need to know as to what is going to be the growth rate for this business, because the projected cash flow are directly linked with the growth rate. So depending on the growth rate, the projected cash flow will keep on increasing. So again, you will need to have this discussion with the management. You can of course do your own calculations, your computation, your judgment, your expertise, but ultimately whatever you do, you need to get it confirmed from the management for, or the client for whom you're doing the evaluation. They have to confirm, yes, whatever growth rate that you have assumed, they are good, they sound good, and they can be taken. We confirm that these are the growth rates with which the company would be growing. So second step, you have to find out the growth rate for the explicit forecast period में कितने परसेंट से कंपनी ग्रो करेगी, और उसके बाद में टर्मिनल पीरियड यानी कि स्टेबल ग्रोथ रेट क्या होगी. एक बार टर्मिनल पीरियड शुरू हो गया यानी कि दैट इज स्टेबल ग्रोथ रेट, यानी कि उसके बाद में एट व्हाट रेट कंपनी विल कीप ऑन ग्रोइंग. सो दैट यू नीड टू know for the purpose of doing the financial projections. The number 3 is, now what you need to do is, now you need to do the estimation of free cash flows. So this is something very basic for the discounted cash flow. So discounted cash flow आप कब कर पाओगे? You can discount the cash flow only when you know the cash flow. So if you have to know the cash flow, that means what you need to do, you need to do the estimation of free cash flow. Now please remember, as valuation expert, it is not that you should do the cash flows by yourself, not necessary. Remember, these are the numbers which got to come from the client, because client understands it. You can validate those numbers, and you should validate those numbers for sure, but ultimately the responsibility as far as the projections are concerned will not lie with the registered valuer. The responsibility will lie with the company, because company is the company's business, it is company's product, it is company's project, so company understands it much better than anybody else. But of course, as a registered valuer, you have to act as a facilitator. Why facilitator? Because as a registered valuer, our responsibility is to facilitate the decision making process in the entire economy. वो हमारी जिम्मेदारी है, उसके लिए जो भी करना है हम करेंगे, लेकिन ultimately the responsibility of of giving the number would lie with the client. So abhi, for making the cash flow projections, what you have to do? Nothing special. अगर आप एक कंपनी का बजट बनाते हैं, अगर आप एक कंपनी के लिए कैपेक्स प्लानिंग कर रहे हैं, तो वो कंपनी की कैपेक्स प्लानिंग करने के लिए व्हाट यू डू, यू प्रोजेक्ट द कैश फ्लोज, इजंट इट? You prepare the projected P&L, projected balance sheet, and you also prepare the projected cash flow. So the way you do it for a capex planning, the way you do it for budgeting, the way you do for long range planning for the business, the same way you do the estimation of the cash flow over the for the purpose of explicit forecast period and also the terminal period. कुछ चीजें फ्रेंड्स जो आपको यहाँ ध्यान में रखनी होंगी, not only as a company, in case you are on the side of the company, or in case of a registered valuer. Remember, your forecast of the cash flows has to be as accurate, as precise as possible. Why? Because if a mistake is made in the estimation of the future cash flows, you can take it for granted that mistake will percolate in the valuation also, because the valuation is a function primarily of two things. Number one is the estimation of the future cash flows, and number two, cost of capital or discounting factor. So agar if you make a mistake in estimating the future cash flows, either way, either you overestimate them or you underestimate them, remember, accordingly your valuation is going to be overestimated or underestimated, as you must have erred in projecting the cash flows. The second function, for the second factor in the valuation, is the cost of capital. So of course we'll discuss the cost of capital as we move forward, but this is what you need to remember कि जब आप cost of capital workout कर रहे हो और जब आप future cash flows estimate कर रहे हो, ये दोनों चीजें आपकी इतनी accurate, इतनी precise होनी चाहिए जितनी की possible हो सकती हैं. क्यों? क्योंकि ये दोनों चीजों पर depend करता है कि आपका valuation कितना accurate और कितना precise है. सो उसमें टेक ऑल दी प्रिकॉशंस कि भाई आपकी जो भी assumptions आप ले रहे हो फॉर मेकिंग दी फ्यूचर कैश फ्लोज, कि आप जो कैपेसिटी यूटिलाइजेशन ले रहे हो, एवरेज सेलिंग प्राइस ले रहे हो, द कॉस्ट ऑफ मटेरियल एंड द अदर एक्सपेंसेस ले रहे हो, द रेट ऑफ डेप्रिसिएशन एंड द इनकम टैक्स आप, सो ऑल दोज थिंग्स, all the assumptions that you are making in computing the future cash flows, make sure that all those assumptions are doubly checked and doubly validated, because एक बार वहां गलती नहीं होगी तो आपके फ्यूचर कैश फ्लो एस्टिमेशन में मिस्टेक नहीं होगी, कैश फ्लो एस्टिमेशन में मिस्टेक नहीं होगी तो आपकी वैल्यूएशन में मिस्टेक नहीं होगी. So that's your step number 3. And just to tell you, remember, the cash flows can be of two types. Number one, you can have the cash flow which is known as FCFF, free cash flow for the firm. Free cash flow for the firm. What does it mean? What it is supposed to be the cash benefit of which are going to be available for all the stakeholders. And that is what is known as free cash flow for the firm. So the benefit of this free cash flow are going to be available for the shareholders, for the lenders, for the debenture holders, for the preference shareholders, and all other stakeholders. So that is known as free cash flow for the firm. And then you have second category of the cash flow, which is known as free cash flow for equity, FCFE. Now friends, those of you who are aiming to write the valuation exam, for you it is very important that you must understand the difference between the FCFF and the FCFE very clearly. Why? Because many of the case studies that come in the examination are connected with the FCFF or FCFE. And there is a full possibility, if you are not conceptually clear, you are likely to make a mistake in arriving at the valuation using the FCFF and FCFE. तो पहले समझ के लीजिए कि FCFF क्या है. FCFF is the cash flow which is available, the benefit of which is available for all the stakeholders. And the FCFE क्या है? FCFE is the free cash flow, benefit of which is available only for the equity holders or shareholders. Now, इसमें आपको क्या याद रखना है और क्या समझ के लेना है कि remember, ultimately you have to discount the cash flow. because it's a discounted cash flow method. So if you have to discount the cash flow for arriving at the value, you have to check is as to which type of the cash flow you are using. So if you are using the cash flow for the firm, then what rate should you use for the purpose of discounting? So if you are using cash flow for the firm, you should use the rate of discounting, which is cost of capital, which is WACC, which is WACC, weighted average cost of capital, or it is also known as COCE, cost of capital employed. So that is what you have to use in case you are using the cash flow for free cash flow for the firm. If you are using the free cash flow for equity, so if you are trying to find out the value of the equity by using the free cash flow for equity, and if you have to discount those free cash flows for equity, then what you have to use? You have to use the cost of equity. And this is what you must be very clear. Why? Because if you are discounting the free cash flow for the firm and you are using the cost of equity for discounting, completely wrong. If you are discounting the free cash flow for equity and you are using WACC for discounting those free cash flows, completely wrong. Completely wrong. And you will arrive at the wrong value. And if you are writing the exam, you will get 0 mark. You not only will get 0 mark, you will get negative mark also. So this is what you must be very clear as far as the cash flows are concerned. Two types of the cash flows: free cash flow for the firm and free cash flow for the equity. Free cash flow for the firm discounted by WACC. Free cash flow for equity discounted by cost of equity. So this is what you will need to do, and then we come to the point number 4, which is determination of the cost of capital. So remember, अब आपको एक चीज तो क्लियर हो गई कि दो तरह का कैश फ्लो है, तो दो तरह की रेट होंगी डिस्काउंटिंग के लिए, एक होगी WACC और एक होगी cost of equity. Now finding out the cost of capital for WACC is not so much of a problem, or maybe it is a problem, because first understand what is cost of capital. Cost of capital is the cost of all the sources from which the company has raised capital. So the combined cost of all these sources put together is your WACC. This WACC will include cost of debt, cost of borrowing, cost of equity. Now, determining the cost of preference share capital is not a problem because it is given. So whatever is the rate of dividend on the given preference shares, that rate of dividend is the cost of preference share capital. The cost of debt is also not a problem, only with one rider. And the rider is the cost of debt. Sorry, the effective cost of debt is always less than the rate of interest. And why is that so? Because since you on the debt you pay interest, and since you pay interest you get the benefit of tax advantage, and since you get the tax advantage, so your effective outgoing on account of interest is far too less. Let's say, for example, your interest rate is 10% and your tax rate is 25%. So what is going to happen is on this interest, because interest is a cost which is tax deductible, and therefore 25% is the tax rate. So 100 crore is the, let's say 100 crore का डिवेंचर है, 10% इंटरेस्ट का रेट है ना, तो आपकी इंटरेस्ट कॉस्ट कितनी हो गई? 10 करोड़ हो गई. अब ये 10 करोड़ में से आपको 25% टैक्स की सेविंग हो जाएगी, यानी 2.5 करोड़ आपका टैक्स बच जाएगा. तो इफेक्टिवली व्हाट विल गो फ्रॉम योर पॉकेट इफेक्टिवली इज 7.5 crore. So therefore debt cost is always the effective debt cost is always lower than the coupon debt rate, and that is because debt leads to saving of taxes. So your effective cost of debt is going to be 7.5% in this case. So debt की cost मालूम करने में दिक्कत नहीं है, preference share capital की cost मालूम करने में दिक्कत नहीं है. दिक्कत है to find out the cost of equity. How to find out the cost of equity? Because cost of equity is not given anywhere. So nowhere the company says that the company will have to pay dividend on the equity shares at this rate. So company may pay dividend, company may not pay dividend, company may pay dividend at the rate of 1%, company may pay the rate interest at the rate of 5,000% also, because there is no restriction. Now the question is, how do you find out the cost of equity? So for finding out the cost of equity, friends, what you do, you use the model which is known as CAPM model, Capital Asset Pricing Model. And how do you find it out? So you start with the risk-free rate of return, which is the rate applicable in case of Government of India 10 years bond. Then you find out the beta of that company, which is the risk indicator. And then what you do, you find out the market return. And from the market return, you minus the risk-free rate. So market return minus the risk-free rate is equal to the market premium, is the market premium. So what you do, you multiply the market premium with the beta. Beta is the risk indicator. And so let's say, for example, the risk-free rate of return is 7%, beta is 1.5. Okay, the risk-free rate of return is 7%, beta is 1.5. Market rate is 10%. So market rate is 10% minus the risk-free rate of return, which is 7%. What you get is 3%. So 3% is the market premium. That means what? That means normally अगर कोई बिजनेस अपना पैसा गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया में के बॉन्ड में लगाने के बजाय मार्केट में लगाता है, बिजनेस में लगाता है, तो he should earn, normally speaking, he should earn the risk-free rate of 7% plus the market premium of 3%. So he should earn, normally speaking, a rate of return of 10%. But this company has a beta of 1.5%. So therefore, the market premium that this company should earn will not be 3%. It will be 3% into 1.5. So which is 4.5. So 4.5 is the market premium this company should get plus 7%. So this company should earn a normal return, which is of 11.5%. So 11.5% becomes the cost of equity. So this is how you will determine the cost of equity, which is the fourth step. Very crucial, very critical. Without the cost of equity, nobody can find out the WACC also. After this, what you do is computation of explicit forecast period value and the terminal value. तो आपने क्या किया, आपने पूरे कैश फ्लो प्रोजेक्शंस कर लिया और अभी दोनों पीरियड का यानी कि एक्सप्लिसिट फोरकास्ट पीरियड का भी कैश फ्लो आपके पास में अवेलेबल है, टर्मिनल पीरियड का भी कैश फ्लो आपके पास में अवेलेबल है, और आपके पास में डिस्काउंट कॉस्ट ऑफ कैपिटल भी अवेलेबल है, यानी कि डिस्काउंट रेट भी अवेलेबल है. सो व्हाट यू डू, सिंपली डिस्काउंट द कैश फ्लोज फॉर द explicit period and for the terminal period depending on what you are using. If you are using FCFF, discounted by WACC. If you are using FCFE, discounted by cost of equity. And that will give you the present value of the explicit period and also of the terminal period. So now what you will have, just to show you as to, this is your two-stage discounting model. तो आप देख सकते हैं, तो पहला जो पार्ट है that is explicit forecast period, और second part है that is for the terminal period. Now आपने cash flow मालूम किया, तो now we are on the stage number 6. So आपने, you know the cash flow for the future, you also know the discounting. So what you do now is number one, discount the future cash flows with the discounting rate. You will get the present value. So when you get the present value, you get the present value for both. You get the present value for the explicit forecast period, and you also get the present value for the terminal period, right? So now what you do, you add both of them. So you add the value of present value for the explicit forecast period, add to this figure present value for the terminal period, add them together, and what you get in your hand is value of the business. So depending on आपने FCFE use किया है कि FCFF use किया है, समझो आपने FCFE use किया है, so the value that you will get in your hand using the discounted cash flow method is going to be referred as equity value of the business. और अगर आपने FCFF use किया है, it will be referred as enterprise value of the business. And अब आप क्या करिए, अब आप ये जो वैल्यूज आप अराइव किए हैं, whether it is equity value है, आप उसको डिवाइड करिए by the number of shares. So equity value, equity value divided by the number of shares will give you the per share value of the company, and enterprise value divided by the number of shares will give you the enterprise value per share of this company. So friends, this is how you will arrive at the valuation of your business using discounted cash flow method. So with this, friends, we come to the close of our session. Thank you so much. In case if there are any queries, I would be very happy and glad to take them. And now over to you, Rishikesh, once again. Thank you, Rishikesh. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. One question, I may ask you, sir, one question.
Please go ahead. Yes, of course.
How to consider discounting factor? Sir, rightly, you discussed on different valuation methods. You discussed on different approaches of valuation. What is the discounted cash flow method? Estimation of free cash flow. You discussed on types of free cash flow. My question is, sir, how to consider discounting factors? Can you give something on that, sir?
Yeah, of course. देखो, I think Rishikesh, I must really compliment you because your questions are really very probing questions and very deep meaning questions, and I'm sure even the participants also must thank you because your questions do help them as well in getting a lot of their doubts cleared. See, your question is how to arrive at the discounting rate. तो देखिए ऐसा है ऋषिकेश, when you are using the discounted cash flow method, what you are really trying to achieve, you are trying to find out कि भाई ये जो बिजनेस है जिसमें मैं पैसा लगाने वाला हूँ, इस बिजनेस में समझो आज की तारीख में मैं 100 करोड़ रुपए लगा रहा हूँ. सपोज इफ आई एम पुटिंग 100 करोड़ इन दिस बिजनेस टुडे फ्रॉम माय पॉकेट. सो द मनी इज गोइंग फ्रॉम माय पॉकेट टुडे. सो ये जो 100 करोड़ मेरी जेब से जा रहा है उसकी वैल्यू 100 करोड़ ही है बिकॉज वो आज की तारीख में जा रहा है.
Right.
But what is going to happen is this business is going to give me cash flow over so many years. This business is going to give me cash flows over so many years. Now we know it very well that the value of money is changing with the passage of time.
Right.
यानी कि आज जो 100 रुपए की वैल्यू है वो 100 रुपए की वैल्यू एक साल के बाद में उतनी नहीं होगी.
Yes.
A very simple example, today with 100 rupee note you can buy 2 liters of milk. So maybe after 1 year, you would be able to not get 2 liters of milk. Maybe you will get 1.5 liter of milk.
Yes.
That means there is so much of reduction in the value of the 100 rupees 1 year from hence. तो अब मुझे क्या करना है, मुझे अगर मैं समझो ये प्रोजेक्ट जो मैं कर रहा हूँ उसकी 10 साल की लाइफ है. सो 10 साल तक मुझे जो कैश फ्लो मिलेगा ये प्रोजेक्ट से, अगर वो कैश फ्लो को मैं ऐड कर दूं खाली, तो वो जो फिगर आएगा वो कंपेरेबल नहीं होगा. क्यों कंपेरेबल नहीं होगा? बिकॉज द वैल्यू ऑफ द कैश दैट आई एम रिसीविंग इन फ्यूचर इज नॉट सेम एज द वैल्यू दैट आई एम पुटिंग इट टुडे. सो व्हाट आई नीड टू डू, आई नीड टू कन्वर्ट द फ्यूचर कैश फ्लोज इन टर्म्स ऑफ प्रेजेंट वैल्यू. तो वो इन टर्म्स ऑफ प्रेजेंट वैल्यू को करने के लिए वो जो डिस्काउंटिंग फैक्टर है वो मैं कैसे वर्कआउट करूंगा, वो मैं वर्कआउट करूंगा based on my cost of capital, based on my return expectation. तो समझो अगर मेरा मतलब मैं अपनी बात करूं या ऐसे, तो अगर मुझे 15% का रिटर्न चाहिए, और 15% का रिटर्न क्यों चाहिए? बिकॉज इफ आई पुट माई मनी एनीवेयर एल्स I will be able to earn 15% from that business. So obviously if I am able to earn 15% from somewhere else, then this business where I am putting money has to give me at least 15%. So that 15% becomes my discounting factor. So in simple words, Rishikesh, discounting factor is nothing but the return expectation of the businessman.
Right. Sir, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. I must mention our deep sense of appreciation of CA Pramod Jain sir
There are
for his valuable information on the topic.
any question
discounted
from
cash
the
flow
audience,
business
we can
valuation.
have.
Yes, sir. Our heartfelt thanks to our
No,
participants
I
for
was
their
saying,
participation. With these warm words and a kind message, we move to the end of today's webinar. We'll meet tomorrow, 25th October 2020, sharp at 5 p.m. on the topic, how to manage risk of your business. Yes, sir.
okay, no, I was saying in case if any of the participant has any doubt, they can
Sir,
ask.
we don't have any question in chat box, sir. We don't have any questions, sir. Already I told you.
Okay, good, very good, very good, very good.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
Very
sir.
good.
Thank you so much, sir. We'll meet tomorrow, sir, 5 p.m.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Rishi. Thank you. See you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.